Welcome, everybody. This is the month of what? October! Yay! The fall season has come. This is the third Wednesday of the month. This is the iBug Android Insight Call, where we talk about everything Android that runs on our Android platform, from your smartphone to your tablet, whether it's an Android tablet, Fire tablet. We even go into the Alexa devices as well as the Google devices. Oh, and don't let me forget, hey, you got the Chromecast, you got our Fire TVs. Oh, you even have Braille displays as well. You know, this is the best call out there because it's all about Android. My name is Ava. I am your host with the most from Houston. And my co-host.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Hershey. I'm out of the Central Florida area, and I'm so excited. Ava, you know, I like this, Ava. Come on, keep it going, Ava. What else we got? What else we got?
Ain't this the fun time, dog?
Yes,
Wait a minute.
is.
We still got one more to introduce. Come on, Julie.
Hey, Ava.
Hi, guys. Welcome, everyone. I'm Julie from Houston.
Welcome, Julie, and thank you so much for all you do.
Yeah. Yes. Well, y'all know this is all about Android. And we thank iBug for hosting us and having us to have one of the best calls out there. So if you want to learn more about iBug, let's go to ibugtoday.org or .com, and you will see on that platform how to sign up for the newsletter that you'll get monthly about, and it will let you know everything that's going on the iBug platform. But there's something special going on this week. Hershey, what could that be?
I'm in Florida. You tell me.
But you know, Friday night is the movie night.
Well, you know, that's every Friday, though. That's every Friday. It is. What you got this week now? What you got this week?
This week, it is The Miracle Worker, the 1962 version.
Ooh. That sounds fun. Yeah,
that does sound fun.
Same Zoom link whenever you guys do join, and keep it going, Ava.
Yes, and you join in at 7:15 for the social hour. The movie starts at 8. And stay after the movie because they do have a good time with questions and answers and a little trivia about the movie. However, I'm going to let Hershey tell them how to join the iBug Android.
Absolutely.
Insight.
So you would send a blank email to us, and the email address would be iBug, I-B-U-G, Android, A-N-D-R-O-I-D, Insight, I-N-S-I-G-H-T, the plus sign, subscribe at groups.io, and that will enable us to add you on the list. And if you have questions in the meantime within our shows, you know, between the shows, we do the show every third Wednesday, you could email on that list if you have a question, if you have things that you found that may work for your new Pixel 9a, like a case you're looking for, you could put it on that list. So encourage everybody to send out that blank email. Again, it is iBug, I-B-U-G, Android, Insight, plus sign, subscribe at groups.io. And as well as, I will let you also know another fun place I like to be around is our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and in the search bar type in iBug Today, you'll find our channel. Go to the channel and you'll find a tab that says playlists. Under the playlist tab, you have the iBug Android Insight, and you could view all, 60, 50 episodes that we've done so far. And if we've missed something and you were like, hey, they talked about it, that's the place to find it.
Yeah, and if you're not big on going to YouTube, you can always go to ibugtoday.org and go to our iBug Android Insight tab, and you will find all the shows listed there as well. Yeah, so everybody, this is our best call. We have the most fun on here. Hershey, let's see who's on the call with us tonight.
Yes, please. I keep hearing a lot of ping, ping, ping. Yeah, exactly. So please let us know where you're coming in from, who you are, what's your name. Perhaps if you have an Android device. And what is your favorite ice cream?
And also, let us know if this is your first time.
Shyness?
Person, this is Foster.
Hey, Foster, welcome.
From Houston. And of course, y'all know this is not my first time. And favorite ice cream, I would say, would be vanilla because it goes with just about everything.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Foster. Welcome back to the show. And what phone do you have today?
Still rocking the Pixel 7 Pro.
Okay, we got a Pixel 7 Pro from Mr. Foster today. Okay,
sometimes
he switches it up, ladies and gentlemen. So just saying.
That ain't in the budget. That ain't in the budget right now.
All right,
Anybody else want to introduce? Go ahead.
This is Cliff from. I was about to say Dallas. This is Cliff from Austin. I'm rocking the Pixel 10 Pro. Hey, Foster, I got a 9 Pro in the drawer collecting dust. Call me. Anyway, my favorite ice cream is Neapolitan, and of course, this is not my first time. So,
It's a pleasure to have you back. Thank you so much. Welcome.
This is Jim Tepper from St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome, Jim.
I have an Android Galaxy phone. I'm new to it, and I appreciate these sessions. And my favorite ice cream is vanilla. So,
okay, couple vanillas in there. All right. Thank you. Welcome back, and welcome to the show, actually. Anybody else wants to introduce themselves?
Yeah, this is Renee from the Cleveland area on the North Coast. I have a Pixel 8 Pro and
no tense? Okay. Sorry. You're usually on top of everything with the watch, your cameras to the speaker. We'll get to it later, guys. Just saying, Miss Renee is awesome. She's a wealth of information. Thank you, Miss Renee.
Well, I'm too busy spending money on mango sorbet.
We got to switch it up here, guys. Okay, we'll come back to that. You explain more later. All right, carry on. Anybody else want to introduce themselves?
Angelica from Dallas.
Hey, Angelica, welcome back. How you been? And what phone are you rocking out in ice cream flavor?
I'm gonna have to say the ice cream sandwiches.
Okay, yeah. I like them too. A little Oreo, a little vanilla in the middle.
Yeah, those are good.
Klondike bars, or I don't know what they called them back in the day.
I'm not sure what they're called. I just know that they're called ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah. But awesome. And that's funny. One of the Androids was actually called ice cream sandwich, but we'll get to that later if we need to. But welcome back. And anybody else wants to introduce himself and let us know where you're coming in.
Hi, this Betty. So sorry. No, Betty, please go.
Okay. I'm Betty. I'm from Boulder, Colorado, and I have a Samsung S8 tablet, which I still love. And I do split my things between Apple and Android, but I still love the tablet for browsing. And my favorite ice cream happens to be salted caramel.
That sounds delicious right about now.
That does sound good.
And welcome. First time I'm hearing you. Welcome to the show.
It is.
Awesome.
I just found out about it. Thank you so much.
And like I said, I have an Apple, it does this. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out how is it similar to an Android, right? So you've come to the right place, and thank you. Welcome again to the show, and we'll keep it moving. I think I heard Miss Shay. Is that who I heard earlier?
Yeah, this is Shay from Seattle, and I
Shay.
have the A32. I absolutely love this call. Every time I tell my mom that I'm going to be unavailable for a couple hours because my Zoom is on.
Appreciate that, Miss Shay.
So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Ice cream is Jamocha almond fudge. It was the only thing I ate when I was pregnant with my son. We almost named him Jake because that was the closest name to Jamocha almond fudge, but we named him Jeff.
That is awesome.
Right.
But welcome.
She got the best ice cream right there.
Right. Look, Miss Ava just had to come back like, wait. We got to talk about it.
Jamocha would have been a cool name, though.
Jamiroquai? I don't know. We'll carry on, Miss Shay, and welcome back. It's always a pleasure to have you. It's been like, 3 years now?
Okay.
But go ahead. Who's next?
Oh, it's been so welcoming.
Thank you. Who's next out there?
You can be next. You have to talk. Hi. I'm new. How are you?
Doing well. What's your name?
Juliana.
Welcome, Juliana. And do you have any Android phones?
I have Galaxy Samsung.
Awesome.
Samsung Galaxy.
Right. Cool.
Oh,
And
nice.
what about favorite ice cream? You got any?
I feel it in me like the beating of life in my veins. I know there's
Didn't get to hear that. Sorry. Something else kind of played, but didn't what was the ice cream there? Or did we lose the caller? Perhaps. All right. If anybody else wants to keep on going and let us know where you're coming in from.
Sorry about that.
Oh no worries.
Go ahead, tell them.
Oh, probably chocolate.
Chocolate? Okay. Well, thank you so much for that. And welcome to the show. I guess this is your first time now, right?
Yeah, my mom is next to me.
Awesome.
Hi.
Welcome, Mom. And Mom, name, please.
Okay.
Faye.
Hello.
Faye.
Welcome.
Miss Faye,
Hi.
welcome to the call. And
Thank you.
again for joining. And we'll get started with questions shortly. So if you have questions, keep them written down in your mind kind of thing. And we'll get to them really shortly. Who's
Thank
next? No problem. Thank you. Who's
Yeah,
next?
we're from New York.
Oh, New
I
York.
forgot to say that part. Yeah.
So we got New York, we got Colorado, we got Florida, Texas, we got
Missouri.
Who else Missouri's in here. Okay. So who else do we have in here? I know we have Canada in here, right? Maybe anybody from Canada?
This is Janice.
Hey,
I'm
Janice.
from Maryland.
Maryland.
I have a
Miss Janice,
Samsung.
I just want to say time out. I got to hear you, and that's all I'm going to say. And awesome speech. Whatever you said the other day.
Oh, what? You
Okay,
want
we'll
the
keep it at that.
president to release?
I saw your name, and I'm like, I know that name. She's from my call. So thank you for being in my community for one, and I heard you call on the national call or whatever.
Oh, wow.
But this when I heard your name, saw your name, I was like, I lit up. I was like, hey, she comes on Android Insight call. So
I'm from Maryland. I have a Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, and I'll say chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip. I could roll with that too. Yeah. I'm gonna get hungry after this call, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, carry on. Who else next?
Hi, Hershey. This is Wanda from New Jersey.
Hey, Miss
I have
Wanda, she's
a
back.
Hi. I have a Galaxy S24, and my favorite ice cream is coffee chip.
Yeah, coffee tray,
That-
the
that sounds
jamocha.
new to
We got
me.
to mix all
Yeah,
these.
yeah,
Yes.
coffee with chocolate chips. That's my favorite.
Yeah, see, I can rock out with that too. All right. Well, welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us again. And anybody else wants to introduce themselves?
Hi, this is Fred from New Hampshire.
Hey,
and
Fred.
I have
Welcome.
a Galaxy S24, and my favorite ice cream, I think, is mint Oreo.
Man, I'm gonna get hungry. So, welcome. Sorry, sir. Welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you. And again, we got New Hampshire in the house too now. So I like this. We could almost cover everybody now. Anybody else wants to introduce himself?
Valencia from Maryland, and favorite ice cream, I'll say Royal Banana Split, but mango sorbet is pretty up there too.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, welcome back. Welcome to the show. Pleasure to have you.
In the middle of real life, that's where we come in.
Okay, we have
a open maybe radio or something might be coming in. And just to be courteous to other callers, and anybody else that wants to introduce themselves and let us know where you're coming in from.
This is Dale from Cleveland.
Hey, Dale. We got a couple Clevelands in the house. Okay, awesome. Well, welcome to the show. And what type of phone and ice cream?
I have an S23 Plus.
Awesome.
And my favorite ice cream is Moose Cracks.
There you go. See, that's another good one.
It is.
Yep.
All right. Anybody else wants to introduce themselves, please? You know, what happened to my friends from Canada? I heard they got new devices and stuff, and I don't. Where they at? What happened to them?
Yeah, then we have some folks from California too, Hershey.
Yeah.
How they folks that? West Coast folks. I think it was
If
somebody.
anybody else wants to introduce themselves, please feel free. You're not compulsory to have to introduce yourselves, but that way we all get to know it's kind of almost like a party in here, it feels like. But if not, Miss Ava, do you think we're ready for questions, or you want to see if anybody else is out there?
I think we're ready for questions because I see we got a lot of new people this month.
Absolutely.
On the call. So we're going to open the floor up for any questions or comments that you may have. All we ask is that, we've always done this, but we still have to do the little spill, is that please be respectful of everybody. When someone's talking, announce your name, wait until you're recognized by myself or Hershey to speak. And please keep all background noises to a minimum because our call is being recorded. And we would like to keep the good quality that we've had on the call. So when you go back to listen to it, that you'll be able to hear clearly um, any advice or questions that you were looking for. So
This is Janice.
Go ahead,
Yes,
Miss Janice.
Janice.
Well, I have two questions. So,
one quick moment. Go ahead
Yes.
there, Ava, if you want to handle that.
Yes, and we do not have to raise hands. So we just ask whenever you hear a lull, if you would just say, excuse me, or your name, and we will get to you as soon as the person has finished the question or whoever was talking. Thank you.
Go ahead, Miss Janice.
I don't know if it's a Z Fold 5 issue or what, but one is on my Zoom. I had to switch from a 4 to a 5. I was having problems with my 4, so I had to get a 5. And I got a 5 instead of a 7 because
I was going to ask you that, but I just kept my mouth
they,
shut. Like, what happened?
Yeah. The insurance, they give you whatever is.
So whatever was current, but you still had insurance, and
right.
The most current up to date they could give you is a 5. That's not bad. Okay, carry on.
I knew you were thinking that. Why didn't you get a 7? So on Zoom, usually I call into my Zooms on the phone on my Fold, and on the bottom I would have my microphone, my video. There's another button. Then there's the participants, and then the more, and then up in the upper right hand corner there's the leave. I don't see any of the controls. So I've gone to settings and I've set up, always show controls.
Right.
And I've logged off, logged on, uninstalled, reinstalled, rebooted. None of that works.
Okay.
The only thing I can see is the microphone.
Okay. No worries. You're in the right place. So let's open up the floor and see if anybody out there may have experienced something like this. So you have a fairly newer Fold, basically Fold 5, but the newer app of the Zoom app after your previous experiences where everything was on the bottom, and now where did the controls go? So anybody know any antidotes to help figure out where the buttons? Go ahead, Kevin.
Usually in Zoom, if you're having problems with a feature showing up, one of the tabs showing up on the bottom, you have to go to the app settings and make sure that all the permissions are granted, even ones that you think wouldn't affect that feature. And that's what I've noticed in the past. Like if you have Zoom phone or something, sometimes you won't see the phone or text messages or some of the different features. So that's one.
So just turn on all the permissions.
Yes.
And not pick and choose. Okay. I'll try that. That's something I haven't done. Okay, just turn everything on. Okay, I'll try that.
And this is Hershey, by the way. Thank you there, Kevin. With that said, there's a point of when you reinstall the app and let it go then, meaning that like if it asks you, I need camera, I need contacts, and I need, XYZ, let it grab XYZ rather than you having to go just turn everything on, so to speak, if that makes more sense. And the other piece, this actually may just work for you. Just try with one finger double tapping on the middle of the screen and see if anything appears.
Doesn't work.
Okay. Because that either one finger, two fingers, I know they have changed the UI. I haven't played with my Zoom account on my phone in a couple of weeks or months, I would rather say. So I know what you mean by the old UI, meaning that mute was on the left-hand side and the camera and the more and all of that. but they have changed the UI. They have changed a few things, and
So you can't even see them at all?
it's not about that you can't see them, but I think that you have to make them appear, so to speak, and that's why I mentioned the antidote of double tapping on the screen of the finger or two fingers or such. I would also suggest is drop a line on the list on the mailing list, and that way, if something comes up, I could quickly post it to you there.
Okay.
That way it'll stay in the rhythm, because it's not that I can't contact you here, but I have a way of replying to your email within today and next month.
Yeah, because I can't swipe to the left and see the gallery. I can't swipe to the right.
Right. You know what the other piece might be? Okay. You might be in driver mode. That's why you can't see anything. Driving mode will not let you see all the other stuff.
But to Kevin's point, I don't even have driving mode.
Driving mode is, I think you swipe with two fingers from the left to the right or something. It's weird. Like you have some kind of interaction with the screen, and it'll go into driving mode. I've had it accidentally happen. So it very well could be driving mode.
So, but when I turn on all the permissions, I should turn on driving mode as well.
No, do not. Driving mode is not necessary in this thing.
Right, because I don't think I have driving mode on because I don't drive.
Well, what driving mode does, it limits you to distractions, right? So granted, none of us drive, but distractions. So it will take away the camera or the mic or any of those little, but it will make it where you're not distracted.
Right.
So go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no. I was kind of having the same issue. Like that's when I told you that the Zoom call was small.
Yes, the picture in picture. Right.
Yes, I was kind of having the same issue.
And you're not seeing any toggles. And sometimes, let's say you're in picture in picture, Angelica, that you're pretty sure you couldn't see it. So what would happen in Zoom would be, okay, you're in picture, but then somehow your finger swiped some way, and now you're in picture in driving mode. So you get really stuck, and sometimes you will have to exit out of your app, rejoin the meeting, and everything is okay. But that's the fastest way to get out of it, right? And then other times
that's exactly what I did.
That's what you did.
Because mine also went into driving mode.
Right. and that again, we don't drive, but it's about distractions, and we have to understand sometimes people will use Zoom in a car or such that.
Right. So turn on all my permissions with the exception of driving mode.
Yes, because, and this is Kevin, I wanted to say that when you install an app or when you're setting up an app, not all of, it should be this way, but it's not. Not all of the permissions that you need are within that setup part. There are still some outliers a lot of times. Sometimes they will ask you for contacts if it's like a social media driven thing, but sometimes they don't. So there are times that it's like music and audio and library, something that you think doesn't have anything to do with it, and it will allow a tab or a feature to show up or to no longer be disabled.
Right.
So always after you install any app that's important, your banking apps or whatever, just go and check and make sure there's not any permissions that are in the denied, especially if you're experiencing trouble.
Right. And so real quick, the second issue I'm having is I have the Alexa app on my phone, and and I have hands free, so I can just talk to it. But the only thing I've recognized that it will not do, I can't set an alarm or a timer. It'll say alarm set, then it says, sorry, I'm having trouble. And again, I've uninstalled, installed, signed out, signed in, rebooted my phone, so I don't know why now my echoes in the house, I have a show and 3 dots. They all, I can set timers or alarms on those, but I can't do it on my phone.
Makes sense.
And I've got Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi is connected, and
Miss Amazon Woman, you out there? Oh, sorry, excuse me, pardon me. Miss Ava?
Yeah, but let's throw it out to the floor and see if anybody else
Yeah.
has anything.
You need a question or you another?
We're trying to help the question with the Alexa app and the troubles that we're having with it. If you had any,
Can't you do it through the settings in what they call that, like the system? You know, the gear wheel. Can't you go in there and find the appropriate thing in there to get it to respond? I mean, I can. There's an app for a clock as well on mine that I could set it independently of any other app. You know, I don't know. Maybe that doesn't answer the question.
Well, it's like it wants to set the alarm, but it does it. It says alarm set, then immediately it says, "Sorry, I'm having trouble."
Do you have an independent app with a clock, for example?
Yeah, I have settings.
Well, and there's a independent app that shows a picture of a clock, and that's where I go to set the alarm and timer.
No. I want to do it through Alexa. I want to do it on. You're saying you're giving me an alternative? No, but yeah, I want to do it on Alexa because I can do it hands free and.
I don't even have Alexa, so I've no help to you, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Foster.
Go ahead, Foster.
Yeah. So just like with your last issue, you may need to go into the settings on the Alexa app under the alarm part and see what if there's any.
I've deleted all of the alarms that I had on there. They're all deleted, and I mean, when you go into alarms and timers, that's really just showing you the alarms that you have. There's, yeah.
This is
Are
Kevin.
you? Go ahead, Kevin.
I would check the permissions just like with Zoom, but I just set one by touching the microphone and also just by saying the name, and it worked for me with no errors on my phone.
Saying you did it hands free by doing what?
Yes, I did it with hands free by saying a lady name, Alexa, whatever, and it said it.
Yeah, so mine's not doing that.
And then I did one by touching the microphone, and did 7:30.
Yeah.
Now I'm also running Alexa Plus Early Access, but I don't think that makes a difference.
Yeah, that might make a difference. I haven't done the Alexa Plus.
I don't think it does.
No, that doesn't make a difference because I just did it on mine as well. But I do know I was having that issue about 6 months ago with mine. But I would do like Kevin says, go under your app settings and make sure all the permissions are set for it.
And I went under the app settings like in my phone.
Yeah.
And I went down to Amazon Alexa permissions, and there's not much there, but the permission is on. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, Ava. So when you went, was there something special?
Well, no, that, and then don't know if you have make sure you have the latest update for it, because I don't know how it just automatically stopped. It fixed itself, but I figured an update had come through to do that because there were some things it would not let me do, and that was one of them. But now it does it with no problem.
Yeah, I mean, I've called Amazon, and Lord, there's probably only one person who knows how things work there, and I haven't gotten that person yet, So,
you call the disability support line?
No. Is there a separate phone number for the disability support?
Yeah.
For Amazon?
Yes, Kevin just said yes, there is.
Okay, I can look that up. Okay.
And Kevin, if you do have it, or Ava, if you do have it later down the road of the show,
we'll put it on the list. Yeah.
Put it on the list. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. And anybody else have a question that they want to ask?
A simple question.
Go ahead.
It's real easy to answer. I don't have any clue. I have a Galaxy S25, and I would like to be able to have some kind of earbud, connection that I wouldn't have, couldn't have the audio, and there's no audio jack on the phone. And how do you get your audio from the phone, like to an earbud, for example? Is there some special earbuds that you have to buy, or is there? And so I'm just clueless.
No problem. No problem. We're here to help you, and thank you for the question. Accessories are part of your, Android and everything else, and you have two choices at least. But I'm going to throw it to our audience and let the audience figure out what they're thinking, and then if I have anything to add to it, I'll come back. But what do you guys think? Any help to figure out earbuds or situations like that?
Foster.
Go ahead, Mr. Foster.
This is Foster. So, if you do not want to use Bluetooth, which that's what it sounds like, then you would have to get some USB-C type wired headset, and usually, good set actually comes with a splitter, so that you can plug the splitter into the USB port.
I'm going to slow you down a little bit.
Headphones.
I don't know what.
A dongle thing?
Okay.
Yeah, it comes with a dongle,
right?
And then you plug the headphones on one side, and then if you still need to charge your phone, you can plug your USB-C charger up. I have a pair of Skull Candy wired headphone sets like that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Foster, for that input. And anybody else? I thought I heard more voices that wanted to chime in. Anybody else? All right, I'm not hearing anybody, but I'm going to just add to this. So again, let's break it down. You have two choices, one with a wire, one that's wireless. What are my costs? What are my brands? Where do I go? How do I buy it? Do I need something special? Well, you don't necessarily need anything special. However, if you're going to go wired, since there's no headphone jack, right, the pin that we put in, you would put in like a pin that looks like USB-C, which is like your charging wire. So they do make there's a lot of brands out there that are pretty reasonable in price, and now they come with USB-C to be wired. They do have little adapters that you could add to the bottom of your phone, for example, and you could have Bluetooth still. And so there are also RF-like headphones that RF and Bluetooth things, but what you're looking for, I would say if you already have a Samsung S25, you could stay in the Samsung ecosystem and look at the Samsung earbud offerings. You could also consider, I'm trying to remember if it's a Sony or somebody, but if you just type in wired USB-C headphones for Android, you'll get a plethora of brands. Anker, Anker, is one decent one. I'm not sure if they have a wired USB-C. If not, depending on your budget and price point, there's lots and lots of choices. And even something like to get you a $400, $350 headphones, I'll just give you an example. The Momentum 4 headphones, it comes with that USB-C as we were talking about, the wire that plugs into your headset, and then the other end connects into your phone. Now you have high quality lossless audio, but if you're not going for that luxury or that audio, then it's no need. It's no point. With Bluetooth, sometimes it has a problem with distance. So after 30 feet, it'll dissipate or it'll disconnect. And sometimes if you're in a crowded area, Bluetooth is sometimes susceptible to not really work properly. So you have your choices, but it's your comfort at the end of the day. Earbuds such as Pixel Buds, Samsung earbuds, they pretty much go in your ear. They'll charge from a case. Roughly, they'll give you 7 hours of battery life, give or take. It varies by brand. With the wired, of course, there's decent quality you'll find, even though you are plugging in with USB-C. And Foster made a point there, a dongle or what have you. When you are plugged in through your headset or headphones, guess what? You can't plug in anything else, right? Because there's only one port. So that splitter, as he mentioned, would let you hook up a battery pack or hook it up to the floor, your wall outlet, and let it charge, but yet still feed the audio out to your headphones. This also works well with if you're trying to buy headsets. So I would maybe recommend start looking at headsets because you could multi-use it. You could use it for music and everything else and have USB-C. However, you'll have a mic with it. So if you're trying to do meetings and come into calls like this, you would have a multi-purpose tool. So that would be my personal recommendation. But there's so many choices. Hopefully it made more sense to you this way.
And if you're not liking, this is Ava, forgot to introduce myself. If you're not liking earbuds that sit in your ear, look at the Aftershock or the bone conduction headsets because they sit right there on the outside of your ear.
Great point.
And they work just as well too. And you can get them as low as $20. It's just depending, like Hershey was saying, it's whatever the price points you want to pay. But I bought a set for like $29, got them for about $22 on Amazon, and they work just fine for what I'm using them for.
And the difference between what Miss Ava is saying, that your ears are open, right? So
yes.
The thing is, when you're traveling, you're listening to your phone or a podcast or what have you, or you're listening to our show, maybe your hands free, your ears are free, and you're not tied up to, oh, let me pay attention to what my phone is saying or what I'm listening to a podcast. No one's get to hear it necessarily because it's going to vibrate to the bones, bone conduction, as it's called. So great advice there, Miss Ava. Thank you.
Well, thank you. That was wonderful answers. I appreciate it very much.
No problem. And go ahead, Mr. Kevin. You had some input.
Wanted to know which style earphones or earbuds is he wanting to start with recommendations for?
Well, I was going to follow the advice to look it up online. I hadn't thought of doing that, and I didn't know if it was where to go or what to do. I think I sort of got a strategy now. I'll have a chance to maybe make a selection. I haven't really thought about it. I mostly was just trying to find some way to have confidential hearing without interfering with other people while I was on the phone. That's all. But that's great. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. And Kevin, did you have some last words?
No, I was just wondering if people wanted to the wired, because there's so many. Like it's going to be, and if you're going to be wanting to make phone calls, and some of the Bluetooth ones have excellent sound, but they don't pick up the mic good. And so there's so many things. So that's why I was wondering.
If I were to go Bluetooth, and what Ava said, the open comms, the reason why I bring this one up specifically, it has they call it a boom mic. So it's like, you've seen those little microphones that sit on the outside of your mouth kind of thing. And the sound quality and everything else, phenomenal. And it's about $180 roughly, just to give other people other choices out there as well. But as we said, the brands to look at is maybe like Audio-Technica or even looking at Sweetwater and just typing in the search specifically USB-C headphones, and then narrow it down to the brands and the price point. And then if you have a Best Buy or something nearby, maybe you might be able to try some of the over-ears, like the ones you wear over the ear. But the earbuds you will not. They keep them sealed. So those are a few choices. But thank you for the question, and we'll keep it moving. And if anyone else has any questions or thoughts, please feel free to say them.
This is Shay. I just have one little quick thing to add to that. And somebody just recently gave me a pair of Meta glasses, and I've also gone completely blind just recently. And they are a lifesaver. I can listen to whatever I want. I can listen to music and podcasts. I can ask it what's in front of me, where's the cat, so I don't trip over it. And they are so helpful that and I always like to have something kind of going on to distract me from the blackness of being blind now. And they've been a lifesaver. I don't think I would still have my sanity without them.
Thank you for your testimonial there, Michelle. And yeah, again, with bone conduction, because they still offer sound. There's also Oakley's and Ray-Bans. Everybody did them in the past. And again, just where do you feel comfortable? Where does a wallet say you could buy? Keep it in that budget, because I could tell you $400 headphones. I mean, they sound beautiful, but might not be in your budget. So thank you for the question. Thank you, Shay, for your input. And again, if anybody else has questions, please please feel free to ask away.
So we have a question.
Sure, go
Hi.
ahead. Hey,
Well,
Juliana.
I was just gonna ask if anyone else is completely blind or because I'm having trouble seeing my apps now. Like not like my vision is gone to where I can't see barely see like Uber, Chase Banking, Lyft. So I didn't know if there was ways to make those apps work by talking to them or what other people are doing or if everybody here can see.
Nope. Okay, so thank you for being vulnerable and putting your story out there. Really, really appreciate that. But we've all gone through different points in life of blindness. Some people are born blind. Some people have lost it slowly. I myself, I'm a low high partial is what they call it. I still have some vision, but again, what does Uber's app icon look like? Probably has a U on it, I think, maybe. But if you paid me $1 million, I can't tell you. So what I use specifically on the Android side, and you mentioned you had an S24, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So we all use a screen reader that's called Talkback. And with Talkback, you're able to basically think of it as a mouse, right? Your mouse points, and then when you click, your other finger clicks on it, right? So your pointer finger is scanning, and then think about it, if you double tap, you're selecting the item or picking the item. So sometimes you'll be like, hey, well, I tapped on it. Why isn't it opening? That's what happens when sometimes we're sharing the apps with our sighted counterparts. And what it is with Talkback, when you tap it once, it's just selecting the item just to tell you, okay, that's Uber. When you double tap it, then it's telling it, oh, open the app, because that's what you're really trying to do. So you are able to use it, but I'm going to let the audience kind of give their testimonial if they'd like. But explain, what do you use and how do you get about with Android or any phones for that matter? And if you want to share.
So this is Kevin.
Oh, go ahead, Kevin.
You took us off.
No.
We're supposed to take
So this is Kevin. I was just going to say that it's because you sound like you're a beginner. You might not even know that Talkback is on your phone or you had a screen reader, which is like a lot of my students. But unfortunately, the sort of Android basics from the ground up classes are few and far between. There's not nearly as many as there are for the other operating system. That's why these calls are so important, and that's why I hope they will continue to focus solely on Android, because the other people have their way made. But blind Android users on YouTube is a good place to start, because they have a Android Basics series or a Talkback Basics series, but they've posted so many episodes now, and there's so many things there, it might seem kind of overwhelming to actually find the beginning. But if there's any resources in your area where you could attend a class or something to kind of walk you through the beginning, because it is basically just swiping and double tapping, but there's so much more to it, especially with all the gestures and stuff that we have. But I am totally blind, and I use Uber, Lyft, and every app that you can name on your phone. I can use it, and so can many other people.
Kevin, thank you so much for. Well, sorry, you see my phone's yapping storm up. Go ahead. Who else is next? I heard somebody.
I'm right here next to Juliana.
Sure.
I'm her
Yes.
mom.
Yes.
But at one point, she did put the screen reader on her phone, I think. And the problem with it was it read everything.
And it wouldn't go away.
Yeah. So
couldn't X out of it.
Great point. Talkback is a screen reader, right? That's its job. Then there's another tool within and the tools that are out there for the accessibility needs. There's a thing called Select to Speak, and again, this is a great call because everyone has different variation in vision. Maybe Mr. Foster could maybe even tell us what he uses is Select to Speak, because Mr. Foster, would you be kind to let us know, how does Select to Speak work? It's been a while since I used it, and I think you use it often. Maybe you, sir.
I use it.
You use it? Could you explain what it's been a while since I've touched it. Could you kind of let us know what is Select to Speak?
Sure. So if you have some vision, Select to Speak is there's a little accessibility
you can invoke it in multiple ways. So one way is there's a little icon. It looks like a stick figure in the lower right-hand corner of your phone. And when you hit it and then you touch what you want it to read, like if you wanted it to read an icon to know if that's your Uber icon, it would say Uber. Or if you want it to read a text message or an email, or a website, whatever you touch, it'll read. You can, it has multiple ways that you can invoke it. Like you can also identify one of your buttons on the side as, you hit it and then you select whatever you touch, whatever you want it to say. So that's, I kind of experienced what you did with Talkback. It was a little overwhelming initially, so it was just saying everything was like, whoa, 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 slow down, So I think people who use Talkback more frequently, they know better how to manage it. But Select to Speak lets you control a little more exactly what you want your screen reader to read aloud for you.
But we had a problem exiting out of it.
But you didn't have Select to Speak. You had
Talkback. Does she have Talkback? So if she goes under accessibility, or you can even just in your settings hit the search magnifier and type in or say, I don't know if you use the microphone on your keyboard, you can speak in Select to Speak, and then it will take you right there.
Okay, this is Ava. I have a question for you. Can you still see the screen? It's hard to make out some of the things on there, or are you not seeing the screen at all?
And that was to you, Miss Juliana.
Sorry, our audio keeps clicking off.
Yeah, I can see the screen, but not well. Like everything is very cloudy and I'm missing stuff. Like when with the Uber app, when it shows you like 3 trips and they're like a $30 difference between trips, and I'm just picking the first one I could see.
Okay, so you're low vision.
Yeah, but it's really I can't see. Sorry.
And it's okay. Not don't.
Well,
no need to say
it's
sorry
okay.
at all. Please.
Yeah, no.
We're
I'm
just
asking
we're all
because,
trying to. Good.
Yeah, because I'm also like Kevin and Cliff and a trainer, so that would be the first thing to see because Select to Speak would be good, but you may, depending on who's training you and who's doing it, and you may end up just wanting to go full Talkback. But you have to adjust the speech, the rate that it's talking to you, and then once you learn the gestures, you can control how much you're hearing when it talks.
This is
So
Renee.
Go ahead.
Can I?
Yes.
Go
I
ahead,
just went
Renee.
through that. I just went through that journey recently. When I first joined this group, I was using a Samsung and I was using Select to Speak and a lot of, adjusting the way my display went. But my vision was getting worse, and I was dropping things where you could see something and not see something else. Total things would be missing for me. Some things I couldn't see very well, and I made the decision that it was time to move to Talkback completely. Because, like you, the first time I turned it on, it drove me crazy. And one of the first things you need to know about using a screen reader is how to turn it on and how to turn it off.
Right.
And then once you have that, go through the tutorials and practice. I had to I got a new phone and I just did not change the settings to make it easy for me to read. It took me about a week, but then I was good. But it's this progression thing because as you get other things that you can't see well, like right now my question today is going to be about doing my email, but there you'll learn other functionalities that you can use with the screen reader that you haven't been using because you can still see it well enough to do it without it. So it's a journey, but when you are not effective, when your frustration of not being able to see something is worse than your frustration of having to learn something, you'll move on.
That's good
This
advice.
is Betty.
Go ahead, Betty.
And I am somewhat in the same position of having some sight, but I have on the Samsung, I used Select to Speak for years on the phone, and it started not to work correctly. So I got an iPhone, and I'm starting to use Talkback on that. But Select to Speak is easy to use. And while you're, even if you do want to learn Talkback, because you just kind of touch or highlight what you want to be said. It's a little more tedious because you keep having to highlight things, but it's easy once it's set up, and you may like that as a transition. I have a question, if I can pop it in here, because it's related to the Talkback.
Sure.
Right now, I did switch to an iPhone because, well, the button on the Samsung didn't work. And I have not used Talkback on the Samsung tablet yet. And I'm wondering, since I'm still learning Talkback on the iPhone, excuse me, should I try to learn both? I have not tried the Samsung yet, and I'm a little, as you are, a little afraid of it, the Talkback feature.
Okay.
Well, okay. First of all, we're gonna I'm gonna let Foster go first, but this is Ava. When you're on your iPhone, that's voiceover. It's not Talkback. Okay.
Yes. Thank you for correcting that.
Yeah.
Just to keep it for everybody clear in their mind, because they'll be like, "Wait, there's Talkback on iPhone?" Yeah, just to, we don't want to confuse anyone, but it's voice over iPhone, Talkback Android. But carry on, Mr. Foster.
But go ahead, Foster.
Yeah, well, that was the first thing I was gonna say. Second thing is if you learn how to use voiceover and Talkback, then hey, you're ahead of many people because you know how to use both of them. The Talkback on the tablet does work the same as the phone. It's just that you have a bigger screen to more or less do your gestures with. So that may be helpful. Some people find it helpful to learn using a bigger screen to do those gestures as opposed to using a small phone. So that's my 2 cents.
Great points. Thank you. And again, let's back up. We did hear about voiceover. We heard about Talkback. We heard about screen readers, right? We were talking about screen readers. What's the point of a screen reader? JAWS, Job Access or Speech. It's a screen reader. It's actually found on Windows, though. VoiceOver, it's actually found on Apple devices, or any Apple devices, as a matter of fact. Talkback, found on Android devices, found on Chromecast, such that. And what does it do? So, again, we mentioned control. It doesn't control you, you control it. But once it starts yapping away, it feels like you've lost all control of it. And as we said, turning it on and off are really critical, because how do I pause the speech? So earlier when I started the show, I muted the speech and I had music playing in the background and introductions. However, I actually still had Talkback running, right? But I was controlling it rather than it controlling me. You've at least asked the question. That's the first step. That's actually the first step. And there's many resources, as we said, but it's, again, taking the time, going through the tutorial perhaps. And how do I make it stop speaking erratically? Well, if you hold 2 fingers on the screen, it'll stop. If you tap 2 fingers again, it'll start speaking again. And that's part of the tutorial, because it'll go through, as we said, voiceover, this, that, and the other. You could learn both to even answer the second question. However, it's how do you navigate? So there's navigation by character, words, lines, paragraphs, headings, controls, so on and so forth. And that's a bottom line for all screen readers, any platform. However, how do you use it? So we use the word gestures. Gestures are using either 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, or 4 on your screen. And whatever pattern you draw on the screen, it controls it. So let's say I want to play pause music. I could take 2 fingers, double tap it on the screen while Talkback is running. It will play pause, whatever that is. Let's say I get a phone call. If I want to answer the call, rather than finding answer, I could just use 2 fingers on the screen while Talkback is running again, and just double tap, and it'll answer the call. Well, I don't like using that. I like using physical buttons. Okay, fine. You could set it with all the customization that Android offers to use your volume up to answer a call, perhaps. But in the other essence of how do I read this email, and this email had a word kangaroo, but I want to know how is kangaroo spelled. Well, you could go find it by words. So you would change by swiping with 3 fingers up, down, left, right, because that's the gestures for Talkback specifically. And it will say controls, it'll say headings, and then you finally heard word. That's what you want to use. So then taking 1 finger, go and swipe up or down, it'll read it 1 word at a time. And maybe you found the word kangaroo, but I still want to know how it's spelled. I know where the word is, but I don't know the spelling. So now you swipe again with 3 fingers up, down, left, right, either direction you choose, your desire. And now I hear the word character. Okay, yeah, I want to know the characters. So again, with 1 finger, swiping up or down, you can now figure out, okay, kangaroo spelled K-A, whatever, however they spelled it. And again, you could email us on the list when the show is not on, and we'd be more than happy to at least let's work through this together. And blind Android users, Warren and others on the show, and Warren has actually been on the show here before ages ago. I think they all need to come back, but the thing is there is at least a starting point. And to turn Talkback on and off on a Samsung device specifically is volume up and power. If Talkback is turned on, let's just say Talkback is turned on once. The other piece to look at is make sure you go to your settings and know what buttons are what for your specific desire. So maybe volume up and power turns Talkback on and off. Maybe volume up and power turns select to speak on and off. Maybe volume up and power turns on magnification. It's your choice. It's a customization that you make. Maybe 3-finger gestures are just not your cup of tea and you have finger problems. You could use only 1-finger gestures, but you would have to set those gestures, customize them. And matter of fact, I have my Samsung phone, so just give you a quick rundown. I'll let my phone yap away real quick here while we're live. And let's see here. Plug it in, and there it's plugged in. So Google search. Spotify. Let's just say I hear Spotify. I heard Uber, 1 notification. Okay, I heard Uber, right? Lyft, 2 notifications. I heard Lyft. So I'm hearing it, but you're not hearing my screen just babble away. However, I have my hand is off. On my left hand, I'm holding the phone. With my right hand, I'm kind of swiping away. I'm looking at you, the camera right now, and I'm using 1 finger, and I'm just swiping right. I'm not even looking at the screen. So, okay, my keep. But I'm looking for Spotify because I was playing a song earlier. Where did it go? So, as you see, I'm just swiping, but I could also, I know Spotify is in the second row because I placed it there. So you could use some of your usable vision by all means. But this is more of a help where when you need it, it talks. When you don't need it, it's quiet. And maybe you're saying, well, Hershey, we have no idea. What did that's so fast. What did it say? What? So now I'm swiping with 3 fingers up and down the screen. Lines, words, paragraphs, no. Yeah, that's what I want, speech rate, right? So again, what we just talked about, I'm going to actually physically do the same thing, same mannerisms, word, character, anything. I'm going to use 1 finger, swipe up or down. I'm going to slow it down. Speech rate 259%, speech rate 235%, speech rate 214%, speech rate 194%, speech rate 177%, speech rate 161%, speech rate 146%, speech rate 133%. Okay, we'll leave it at 133. So now button invite friends for open context menu image, choose a listening mode. Button back, add button off, mix switch, edit button. So I'm swiping 1 finger, but I'm actually interacting with Spotify. Context menu, back to the Lo-fi Earth, Jazz Beats button. Open context menu. Reflect icon button. Okay, I want to play that song, right? I hear reflect. I don't know what song it is, but I want to play that. I'm going to use the same 1 finger, double tap it. Showing item 2 of 3. Now you have sound coming through. So again, I want to stop it. I made a mistake. I get a phone call. 1 second. I hit 2 fingers on the screen. Now I stopped it. So again, you're the controller. It's not supposed to control you. It's just you aren't aware of it. You've never had to experience it, and it's okay. It's really okay. If select to speak works for you in the beginning, then try it out, and that's what works for you. As we mentioned, accessibility modes and tools. There are different buttons and things you could use, like if I on Pixel phones to turn TalkBack on and off, just to explain on Pixel users, you would hit the volume up and the volume down and hold it for 3 to 5 seconds, and then TalkBack will turn on. Samsung uses the volume up and power, or side key, whatever you want to call that button. So those are the couple variants, but let's dive into more questions and maybe it'll become clear. Go ahead,
Kevin.
Yeah,
I want to
Kevin.
clarify something. The Samsung phone, and I just got the 836. So Samsung is volume up and volume down as well.
Okay, it is
You
still,
can
okay.
still assign the volume up and power key to whatever you want.
Okay, there's
but
two.
By
Thank you.
default,
Good
like
point.
if you're getting a phone out of the box, it says volume up and volume down. And the volume up to answer a phone call is only available on Samsung phones. And that is the only thing that you can do with it. You can turn that feature on or off. But that is by default when it knows that you are running TalkBack. The volume up key is to answer phone calls.
Thank you for the clarifications, and I haven't got a new phone in Samsung land in a while.
I heard you. This is Cliff.
Go ahead, Cliff.
I just wanted to, because I'm a total, and I've been iPhone for years until I started using a Pixel back in January. And it's all about what you want to use. Like I use my Pixel at work, I use my iPhone at home normally, but to me it's usually a hub because I can do everything from my Mac, but that's another story. But the bottom line is people that are sighted, losing their vision, you're gonna have to make a conscious decision on when you want to say, you know what, I may not have this sight tomorrow. Let me learn this screen reader, whether it's iPhone or Android. And, you know, it's your choice. It's good to have choices. We all have choices now. So it's good to have choices. But the bottom line is, if you've been losing your sight gradually, you never know. I had a friend of mine who I met at the ACB conference this year. He woke up. He was driving on Friday and totally blind on Saturday. So you never know when it's going to go. Whether you want to hold on to the site and view the screen and squint and, as we say at work, have your nose kissing the screen just to see it, that's not comfortable. That's not comfortable. I'm not telling nobody what to do, but you just have to make that conscious decision that that site will be gone one day and that learning the screen reader is not a bad thing. And if your site never goes, then good. Then you know the stuff and maybe you could teach somebody else or be a mentor or advocate for somebody else. But the bottom line is, whether you had little vision, minimal vision, learning the screen reader on any device, whether it's a phone or a computer, is never, ever a bad thing. Just more tools in your toolbox.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said that, Cliff. I 100% agree.
This is John.
Go ahead, John.
So this may not apply to her case because I've only used screen readers, but I've kind of went through this journey that I've been using an iPhone since about 2015, and only recently, because of Prime Day deals, I got a Pixel 9a. But I was a little nervous about setting it all up and doing it, but with all the help from all the different groups like this one and other groups, I realized how straightforward it could be. Just you could set it up right out of the box by holding your 3 fingers on the screen. TalkBack comes on, and then I connected my iPhone with my Pixel phone with a wire, and you just follow all the prompts, and it sets it all up. It was amazing. And between that and online resources, like I followed resources like Hadley, and I watched all the TalkBack videos, and between that and Google Gemini, I was like up and running. And I think there are kind of 3 factors. Like the biggest one is passion or interest. Like if you're really passionate or interested about something, you'll have the motivation to want to learn. The second one is knowing what kind of learner you are. Like if you know what kind of learner you are, then you'll be able to understand the best way to learn. And I think the third one is just resources and support. If you know there are people out there or resources online that can help you, then you won't feel alone in the process.
And can I throw in one more thing? This is Shannon.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Janice.
Be patient with yourself. Give yourself grace. If you don't get it the first day, the first week, just be patient and just take your time and, work to learn it. Because, none of this is easy. It's just not. So just be patient with yourself.
Absolutely. And just
This was Foster.
Go ahead, Foster.
The other thing too is you said you're in the state of New York.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. You do know that every state has voc rehab training, and that even counts for if you need training, due to blindness and things of that nature. Also check with your state to see what services they offer for you, and they'll help you with that training, usually at little or no cost.
The issue I think that Juliana had, she gets those services through New York State Commission for the Blind, and they said
Okay.
that they had two tracks, and one was independent living, and the other one was vocational, and she had to pick one, and it made sense at the time. We thought to pick the independent living because it seems like you have to know how to live independently before you can do much of anything
Oh no,
else.
ma'am. Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you just got the nerve.
I'm so
No.
happy she's here, honestly, just to say. I want to put my 2 cents in because this call is so beautiful, guys. It's not my
Yeah.
birthday this month. I'm just saying.
No,
But
but
the president
go
is
ahead,
good.
ma'am. I am so sorry, but go ahead. Yeah.
No, we want to know what you have to say.
Okay. Well, okay. First of all, no, ma'am.
As you see, we're so passionate here.
The vocational track and the independent living track are really two different things. The independent living track is for someone who does not want to go to work or school. The vocational track is the track that if she wants to go to college, go to work, even under that track, they do provide or supposed to, okay, but they do to provide training so that she can learn how to live independently in because that's all a part of your vocational track is you being able to get up, iron your clothes, fix your food, go from your home to school, or using a computer and everything, as well as cooking, washing, cleaning, and traveling outside your home. So all of that's under the vocational pack. It's just the question is, what is her goals? What is she wanting to do?
And I think one of the, if you don't mind me speaking for you, Juliana, I think one of the issues that Juliana's been having because she's always had limited sight, but now it's much more limited. So there were things that she had interest in and things that she could do that she doesn't feel like she can do now, and she's kind of this Juliana, like this ship kind of lost at sea, trying to figure out what.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there. Okay, Juliana.
Yes.
You can do anything you decide you want to do. You can do it however you want to do it. You just have to decide if you want to do it. And the things you used to do, you can still do, just that you'll end up learning how to do them in a different way. Okay. I went from 2020 to what's called legally blind, but I'm light and dark perception now. And I can guarantee you I cook and right now I'm about to do a big Thanksgiving meal, which includes, well, my brother just don't know it. He gonna buy that duck.
So I'm
But
assuming, Ava, that my invitation is in the mail.
oh yes, it is. You are
Oh, okay.
welcome to
Just
show
making
up my
sure. Just
house.
making sure.
Is my
Dinner starts at
invitation
noon.
also in the mail?
Oh yeah, dinner starts at
Very
noon.
nice.
Okay. But I do anywhere from two different kind of meats. He's bringing the third one, two dressings, vegetables, and umpteen million desserts because I just love the bake. But I travel. I go on cruises by myself. I go with friends. I travel around the city, and I'm a nut for what I'm doing now. But I'm also, I do office manager. I work on a computer. I do, and Foster can attest to all of this too. I do other activities. I love the sew, which I still do. I have a friend that paints, and she is, I call her high partial, but she is legally blind, but she still has usable vision. She drives, but she still paints. She does crafting. We all do crafting. Okay, so it's called, what is it? The things you love to do. Do not think just because you're losing your vision that you cannot do it. It just takes time, patience, and it depends on where your heart is and what you're wanting to do and the
Okay.
things that you
Juliana,
want to do with your life. Okay.
I had a quick question.
Go ahead,
Juliana,
Foster.
Yes.
Juliana, what are some of your interests?
Um, Helping animals.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that
Okay.
sounds really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good place to start.
I want to know what kind of animals first, cause see, I done
I know.
seen some of these shows, and if you're into
Now
that,
I'm
I want to be
interested.
on the set. Okay. But yeah, no, you can still do helping animals. What else? What
Yeah.
else are some of your other interests?
That's the biggest one that I'm like sad about, and um, I don't know.
Did you
I
want to
love
be a veterinarian or?
No, I was happy as a volunteer at the animal shelter.
So this
Really
is Hershey,
happy.
by the way.
Hey,
Just
Hershey.
imagine some of us have lost sight, and we use tools, as we said, and some animals named dogs specifically need help. Right? They need help training. They need help any in which process. There's guide dogs for the blind. There's the leader
Yeah.
dog.
What school is that in New York? There's a big one in New York.
It's in New Jersey, isn't it? Seeing Eye.
Yeah, it's in New Jersey.
So
We
Seeing
have
Eye in
guiding
Morristown.
eyes for the blind. I think it.
Guiding
Yeah,
Eyes.
that
There you
one.
go.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Guide
The-
Dog
the-
Foundation
just
is on Long Island.
there you
Okay.
go.
This is
Long
this
Island.
is Angelica.
Go
Go ahead,
If I
Angelica.
can if I can just interrupt for a
Yeah,
second.
carry on.
If she has a phone as well, if it's an iPhone, if it's an iPhone, she can download on her Apple Store Be My Eyes, and what that is, it's basically sighted volunteers help kind of helping the blind, like
Right.
Yeah, that's
and
on
then
Android too.
And
I'm
then
about to
and
say,
yeah, it's
I got
also
it right
good
here on my
point. Good
Pixel.
point that you
Mine is
said
on
that.
both platforms
Hang
now.
on, hang on. We got a whole lot of people talking.
Right.
Let's slow this back down to one at a time, okay?
Excitement.
You can see
sorry.
we're all passionate about
This is a good
making
topic.
sure. Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
think that they all want to help you.
This is Fred.
Go ahead.
So I like this topic. I'm on the verge. So I became legally blind in 2017, and
Okay.
I've been on a roller coaster ride since then.
Mhm.
And it seems like now I'm on a declining path to maybe losing my vision. So I'm and I've had an Android since I've had a mobile phone.
Okay.
And I like it.
Right.
I've started using Talkback. I've gone to the Hadley School website and
Yes.
learned how to use Talkback a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm wondering, and it sounds like there are people here
Mhm.
who may know the answer to this question. In that, is an iPhone and VoiceOver better than an Android and Talkback?
No.
I'll put it. Well, hold on. One moment at a time. We'll put it this way. it's not brand agnostic. It's a tool. Accessibility is accessibility, right? Some people will have opinions to say.
For a moment?
Sure.
So it seems like when I'm trying to double tap with my Android, it doesn't always happen as I expect it to. I need to double tap several times, and I've handled a friend's iPhone, and it seems like that was much more sensitive and reacted better. Has anybody else experienced that?
I'll put it to the audience. Go ahead, Foster.
This is Foster. What type of Android phone are you using?
I have the S24.
S24. You can change your sensitivity settings too. That would help.
Really?
Yeah. This is Renee. Yes.
Go ahead, Ms. Renee.
Settings are your friend. There are so many settings. This is why I don't like to change phones, because after a year and a half, I have everything just the way I want it. So that's one reason why I switched to my Pixel 8, because I knew it was good for 7 years of updates, and I'm gonna use every one of them. But there's so many settings in there. When I first get a phone, I spend a lot of time just going through all the accessibility settings, and I don't at first understand what they really do for me. But as time goes on, you learn more and more different settings that are going to change things just the way you want them. So you can have it just the way. I've never used an iPhone, so I can't compare for you. I've always been an Android user because that's just the way my brain works. But the settings there's a lot of settings for so many different things, and here you will learn a lot from people here. And also, when you run into a problem with what I've done, which people here have recommended me to do, I mean, just recently I was having a problem with interference between my Pixel and my watch and my speakers in the house, and I went on Be My Eyes and I sent a message, and they emailed me and told me how to change my settings to get rid of that. I never knew about how to balance the use of voice control and sensitivity and things like that. I can set sensitivity levels for all of my speakers in my house, which I never knew before. So there's so many different things you can do, but you'll learn as you go along. When you have a need, you find a way. Right. And I've never not been able to. I think every once in a while I'll run into something that's like, okay, yeah, I don't have a fix for that yet. But I'll tell you, I sit next to iPhone users, and there's just like Android users. They go through periods where they're banging on their phone. Why isn't this working? And you'll get that every once in a while. And sometimes you find out it's a setting, or sometimes you'll find out you just need to restart your phone because there was an update recently. Yep. And I think they leapfrog each other all the time with different features. Somebody will come up with something and the other one doesn't have it. The next year that one comes up with something the other one doesn't have. Right. And I don't think it's really a personal choice, as to which one you want to use, and they'll both do the job for you.
Exactly. And Mr. Renee, you brought up a point that I also always have stressed to people. Samsungs typically have more nicer looking screens because they are screen manufacturers also as their other business. So they have beautiful screens, OLED and blah, blah, blah. But magnification users, low vision users do better with Samsung devices. I would say Pixel users are typically who use screen readers, but the reason why I bring that up to the front focus is Google makes Android or Talkback, right? And the fact that when features change, something changes, Talkback is updated quickly. You will have a slight delay amongst Samsung phones at times where maybe the malfunction on the S24, for example, could be that there was a bad update somewhere, and was a bad update cycle that's not making the sensitivity, or maybe that setting is mismatched somewhere. So, there's definitely choices there. And then a website that we mentioned, Be My Eyes and such that. If you also want to get out and reach out to Google support, you would email or contact them by Be My Eyes email or call. And the website is g.co/disability support. And that way you could at least get in touch with them, even if you have a Samsung device and you're having accessibility needs or confusion. They will be able to guide you, even if it's, let's say, a thermostat issue and You're like, hey, this doesn't work for me anymore. Can you help me? And you could use the Be My Eyes app for that specific reason, as Angelica brought up, where you could use a camera and they could look at the different settings and help you walk you through it. There's a lot of tools, and this full disclosure from the topics earlier, I've been a VR and an IL, right? Currently, I am an IL. IL at this point in juncture does not have enough funding most of the time, and it's people that are maybe retired and such that, so there's not enough monies in those buckets. Let's say VR is vocational rehab, there is a lot of money in those buckets. You did not make a mistake, because yet you are here. That's the first step, as I said earlier. You're asking the questions. You're reaching out and seeing what resources work for you, because they're not for us. It's for you, and it's for me, or however resources I'll take from here. So, right now I'm an IL. I will be switching back into VR. Maybe I will be employed again. It's been since like 2016, but it's a journey for all of us. And regardless, I have macular degeneration, might even have Stargard's, might have patchiness, but I know I have cataracts. I know my eyes are a little cloudy. However, it doesn't stop me from learning JAWS or to learn to be a better host, even though, and I'll always ask everyone, hey, what can I do better? And again, how can we do better with our blindness? Is how Cliff has said it. All of us have kind of reinstated that statement. And again, it's not going to happen overnight. And we all come from different walks of life. There's a lot of good places. The Commission of Blind in New York, I've heard of them as well. If you can't, just email different groups. Until you can't find what you need, just keep trying, and we'll advocate for you as much. So if anyone else has more questions with that, I'll keep it open to the stage.
Can I make one comment to
Yes, you may.
Faye and Juliana? I think we have this same problem all over the country, independent living versus vocational rehabilitation, because, even if you don't want to work or go to school, you need to know how to use, devices and computers and laptops. And so that's where they're kind of shorting the independent living people, because the pandemic showed us that we need to stay connected and everybody needs to know technology. So just to piggyback off of Hershey,
Mr.
there's
Denise, you
so
got a
many
chip in me or something? You're reading my mind, what Miss? Exact
but
statements,
but
word
what
for
you're
word.
going through in New York is the same in Maryland, as Florida, and every other state in the nation. So but iBug is a wonderful resource. Hadley School for the Blind, they've got just fantastic resources as well. And, you may have other resources there in New York that, maybe we're not familiar with. But, once you start connecting with one, then you'll find out about different resources. It's like a spider. It just kind of goes out, and then you learn about multiple agencies.
That's great.
Well, this
Thank you
Renee.
very much. I think we're both really glad that we,
Yes.
found you.
Yeah, you guys made us emotional.
I mean, like I said today, we're all talking over each. We don't do this usually. Like we're pretty tame, but today all the energy. Miss Ava has her energy, y'all's energy. So thank you so much for the questions. But hey, let's more questions. We still have time. Any more questions?
Yes, Renee.
Go ahead, Miss Renee.
I have a talkback question. I've been trying to improve my skills with Talkback, and one thing that I want to be able to do is navigate my email and read it, delete, send, edit, whatever. But and I would like to do as much as I can with, speech versus swiping. And I finally have discovered Talkback voice commands, but I still have not. I'm still learning. I just trying to figure this out. But who knows who can give me the most efficient way to go through my emails with Talkback between using gestures, Talkback commands, voice. How do some people here do that? I would really like to understand how other people do it, to see if there's something I'm just really missing.
This is Angelica.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Okay, so like I can say like the one thing that works for me is when I have the voice reader turned on my phone and I have my Talkback turned on. Um, like when you're scrolling, trying to scroll through your email, I found out kind of this the easy way that works for me. Like if you have your voice reader on and you just swipe with one finger like to the right, it will read you your emails like one at a time. And then if you want to open it, just double double tap on the email that you're wanting to open,
Good point. Good point.
and then just
But
slowly swipe to the right again, and it will continue to read your email for
right.
you.
Miss
But I
Renee,
delete, but I delete things by mistake.
Miss Renee, one quick question though. What email client are we talking about? Just to be real clear.
I use Gmail.
Perfect. Phew. Okay. I thought you was going to say something else, and then I was like,
No, I use Gmail, but one thing that I do sometimes is I'm going through reading, you know how you can just read the
Yes.
preview of the emails, and I'll say, oh, I don't need this, and I want to swipe. But every once in a while, I'm
So
swiping the wrong thing
so
because
let's
how do I do that?
let's take it it's a two-parter. I'm just going to answer this because I know this pretty well and short on time. If Kevin wants to say it later, or Kevin, do you have any input before?
Well, I would recommend tapping 3 times with 2 fingers, which will read from the beginning of the email. Also using the reading mode. I think that we set it up one time on one of your phones. Where you swipe up from the bottom with 3 fingers for reading mode. Sometimes it'll tell you that it won't read the email. If you do it again, it will read the email. But call Google, whether it's the disability line or whatever, and help strengthen the cause for them to make. I don't know why they won't let Gemini or the Google Assistants read email. They would summarize your email, but you can't manage it. You can't interact with it through Gemini. I don't know why they won't do that through with emails. So, but you can get a pretty good summary, but you never know which ones it's going to decide to summarize.
Whoops.
Yes, I've heard that. Oh, you have a bunch of emails that are like this, and it'll talk to me about those. Then you have a bunch of emails like this. But
Right, and you're
I
like,
would like to just be able to say, open my emails, read them to me, delete that one, go to the next one, you delete that one. That's what I would
Right.
like to
So
be
Miss
able to
That's
do.
what we're trying to get. That's what we're trying to get. So,
Miss Renee, so I got an antidote that I'm going to give of my prescription on it. So 2 things. One, you will go where it says search, swipe left, and then you'll hear more menu or something like that, right? Because it's like once you have to search, if you focused on search and then you swipe left, you should hear that more options or more bucket kind of open up.
Yeah.
Go to settings there, change the swipe gestures. What I do when I swipe left is move to. What I do to swipe right, or like. No, swipe left is delete because I don't swipe left often, right? If I swipe right, then I'll accidentally delete. Swipe right is actually move to. So it doesn't trigger me to accidentally delete it. But I know if I really want to delete it, then the 2-finger swipe left will delete it for sure. Or you could change it to archive and move to. So you could make it not go to delete at all. Second piece. After that piece is done, what Angelica said actually is true. If you're swiping right on the email, it will read to a certain point per, like the gist of it. Right. If it's a longer email, then yeah, of course, double tap it, open it, and then go on and so forth. When we're trying to delete an email, what I've been doing is I'll be, let's say, on an email, but if I'm selected to, let's say, iBug test email, right, and I want to delete that iBug test email. So I would swipe up or down, and it actually has delete in that menu with that 1-finger swipe up or down. Just make sure you're focused on, let's say, the iBug test email, and to swipe down, you'll hear delete, double tap, it's gone. So you don't, they actually implemented delete in that swipe up and down kind of gesture, almost similar to VoiceOver. Just for others, sorry, I didn't want to confuse there, but yeah, so that's the easiest way to delete. I'm trying to remember what other settings without going to my email right now in the middle of the show, but those are a couple ways. But just make sure you change your swipe gestures, because yes, if you're not in the habit, you may just swipe right and you're like, oh, I just deleted it, and then I have a habit to put things into move to folders so you can make labels originally on your computer, and then those labels will show up on your phone. So let's say you have an ACB email, then you have an NFB email, then you have an AFB email, whatever. You put them in their buckets because you might have a lot of subscriptions or something.
Yeah.
And so swiping left and then move to definitely helps. If you double tap and hold any email title, double tap hold, you'll feel the vibration. That means it's selecting those emails, and then you could go find the move to button and multi move all those emails or delete all those emails. Let's just say. So if you double tap and hold and you feel that little small vibration, it's selecting those emails as you're going down the list. And for forward, reply all, and all of that. Now they've actually implemented buttons at the bottom, so you could actually find reply all, and forward. They didn't have that before, as I remember. And if not, you next to the email sender's address, so let's just say ibug@ibug.com, you would go to the right, swipe right a couple times, and in the more options, you'll find forward, reply all, reply, or change, or save, and stuff like that. The different settings available. So that's kind of the gist of how I've been using Gmail, and for the most part, it's become systematic and easier. And if I want to delete, like I said, I just swipe with one finger up. I heard delete, double tap, it's gone.
Okie dokie.
But thank you for the question. And Miss Ava, are we TikTok?
Yep. We are at the end of our call, and this has been a very good call. I want to invite Julia and her mom to join our mailing list. So if you have questions, you can email the list, and somebody on the list will get back with you, or one of us will get
both
back.
of us, we screwed it up. It's Miss Juliana.
Yeah.
We both screwed it up.
Juliana, yeah.
Sorry.
Yep, sorry about that. But yeah, but join our mailing list and everything. Our next meeting will be next Wednesday, next month. It will actually be the 19th of November. So I look forward to hearing everybody again. And don't forget the iBug movie, Miracle Worker, 1962 version.
Thank you so much.